I think it's a big tour in terms of young players being given a chance to prove themselves. We're, less than 2 years away from the next World Cup. That generation that won the World Cup has moved on. And I think we identified a core group in England with the Champions Trophy, a core group of players that could go on and be part of that World Cup team. But then you obviously need to look at bench strength as well.
Oh yes, I don't think there's any argument about that. The more the merrier in terms of the choices that you have, and it's always good to have more than 2 or 3 choices for the same slot. There are two ways of actually looking at a tournament in the build-up to the World Cup. One is that you're preparing. You look at a tournament sort of devoid of any context. You look at a tournament which is just a tournament. The idea is to win. The idea is not to build a team. Building a team is incidental to that. And then the reverse, which is that you're playing to build a team, and the results do not matter so much. I am not very sure if India has got this balance right, because if the idea is to give players more chances, to take a look at how many more people could have played, I think a few more people could have been given their chances in these last couple of series. Certainly in Zimbabwe, where
you think perhaps even somebody like Kohli could have been rested, because he's obviously a nailed uncertainty to be part of the squad for the next 2 years.
No, I think Kohli should have led. I think that was a fair choice, because he is going to be our captain very soon into the future, sometime in the future. I won't say very soon. And once that idea is established, then you might as well give him a chance as early as possible, and give him a chance where the pressure is not that much. So I think Kohli leading is fine. But I think even in Zimbabwe, I think they should have spread the players out so everybody got more or less similar chances.
Yeah, I think they do have 3 more matches after this to give each of the 15 a go. And I'm particularly looking forward to how Rasool does an off-spinner, an option other than Ashwin. And Mohit Sharma obviously picked on the basis of primarily IPL performance, it must be said. But we can't knock that, because a couple of players who've come into the Indian side in recent times, Dinesh Karthik is one, again picked on the back of a strong IPL season.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it shows that you're in form and you're getting runs, and then it's a question of that's really half the battle, isn't it? And then it's a question of how will you adapt to the slightly bigger format, larger format. But I think to play the same team as we have done now for the first 2 matches suggests that the idea is first to win and then to sort of look at experimentation. And I don't know if that's a great idea. I mean, you are going to win anyway.
Yeah, you're a bit between 2 stools in that sense. I mean, I think the mindset is, okay, let's make it 3-0 and then we play around with the team for the last 2 matches. But on the other hand, I mean, I have to say it's a big tour for a couple of these players, because you look at Suresh Raina, who failed again today. Rohit Sharma hasn't had a good match. Couple of these guys are under pressure. I mean, Pujara is on the sidelines, and more people are asking why isn't he in the 11. So there's no guarantee that either of these players will be part of the 11 the next time India play. So for these 2 in particular, I'd say it's a very big series. Forget the fact.
For the players who are on the sort of borderline, and if someone like Suresh Raina, who has been in sort of phases a leading batsman in one-day cricket in the world, if he sort of bats himself out of contention, see, you've got to give the senior cricketers a chance to fail, while you give the younger cricketers a chance to succeed. And I think this is the sort of overall philosophy of selection. The Indian selectors have done quite well in the recent past, and my only worry is consistency. I mean, as I said, are you looking for a victory? Are you looking to pick the players who will play the big matches? Are you looking for a long-term sort of settled team? I'm not very sure about if they work that out clearly.
Yeah, I think the one thing I don't want to see is a player picked in this 15 who perhaps gets just 1 game and then is forgotten
Exactly,
about for
exactly.
the foreseeable future, which we've seen plenty of in the past few years. I can think of Badrinath was one example. Couple of bowlers. I think Dhaval Kulkarni went on a tour of New
That's right.
Zealand, didn't play a game, and then is not part of future squads. Mithun went to Sri Lanka, bowled on lifeless pitches, and then when you came to a tour of South Africa where fast bowlers tend to do well, and he wasn't even part of the mix for that. So yeah, you want to see that kind of consistency, that players who are part of this 15 ideally should be persisted with.
And I think the sort of so-called fringe players who might not otherwise make it into the Indian team right now, into the full Indian team, I think they need to be given a chance to so the selectors can decide one way or the other. It's just not just a question of getting runs. There's temperament, there's the attitude, and tournaments like this are good to sort of test those things out, I think.
Yeah, for somebody like Raidu, I would play right through the series. I mean,
Exactly.
You say, okay, you've got 5
Yes.
games, show us what you can do. But at the same time, you don't need a Shikhar Dhawan or a Ravindra Jadeja to play all 5 games, because you know what you're going to get from them.
True. And I think that's a kind of clarity that needs to come into the thinking. I mean, you've got most of it right. The selectors have got most of it right. But it would be nice if they sort of, I don't know, maybe they have, sat down with the captain and decided this is a sort of plan between now and the World Cup, and this is the way we intend going about it. So even players who are dropped but who are still part of the mix for the big event, do not get disheartened. Do not think that that's the end of the road for them. They need to be told, listen, we're going this route because we need to have more data. We need to collect more data, and you are a part of the mix. And I don't know if the Indian system has not been known for that kind of.
But to a large extent, India did get that right before the last World Cup, because around 2008-9, 8 Raina came back into the team, and he got a huge number of matches in the run-up to the World Cup. Kohli came into the side late 2008, established only in 2009. Ashwin again slightly after that, but you had about 3 or 4 players who'd been given about 40 games before the World Cup, so they felt part of the unit, and I think that helped. Even a fringe player like Ashwin, in the context of the World Cup, he may have been a fringe player, but the fact that he was able to come in for a huge game against Australia in that quarter-final and perform was a reflection of the fact that he'd been given enough games to feel confident enough.
No, I think that's important. I think it's important for a cricketer to know that he is a part of the overall plan. Or conversely, he's not a part of the overall plan. So he just gets back into the domestic scene or whatever else might happen. But I think vagueness is a bit of a problem. I mean, you're not going to get it right. Obviously, as you said, you're not going to get it right 100% every single time. But it's nice to have a plan. And nice to have it in such a way that everybody knows where he fits into this sort of grand scheme.
I think this series and the 8-team tour to South Africa that's coming up, they're being seen as a sort of groundwork for the tour of South Africa later this year, which is obviously a huge tour for the Indian team. And I was particularly interested with the 8-team selection because they picked some really big names. I mean, guys who are already part of the test squad, so that clearly there is a focus on getting them there, getting them practice in those conditions. Though I'm not sure, for example, how similar the early springtime conditions will be to what you get in December when we play our first test. But I still think it's a good move to get them all there. Get used to vastly different kind of pitches, and against even provincial South African sides have good fast bowlers.
They always have good bowlers, so that's always a plus. Yes.